Hello students, in today's video we are going to discuss about computational thinking. We will cover the topics like what is computational thinking, components of computational thinking, analyzing, decomposition, pattern recognition, abstraction, algorithm design and importance of computational thinking. So let's start with the definition. What is computational thinking? Computational thinking is a thought process that teaches us how to solve complex real world problems in a way that human or computer can effectively carry out. It is a fundamental skill for everyone, not just for computer scientists. It involves solving problem by following concept necessary. So the components of computational thinking include decomposition, pattern recognition, abstraction and creating algorithms. Now let us discuss all the factors involved. So there are 5 key components involved in computational thinking. First one is analysis. It is the process of understanding the problem and conditions and defining the goals. Second is decomposition. Decomposition means breaking down a large problem into smaller parts which are easier to understand. So the smaller parts can be examined closely and solved individually. Third is pattern recognition. Now observing the pattern trends and similarities in the data is known as pattern recognition. When you discover the pattern, it becomes easier to make predictions and create rules to solve other problems. The next component is abstraction. It is a process of filtering out the details or components of the problem to focus on the relevant ones. Algorithm design. It is a process of developing the list of steps that we can follow to finish the task. So in abstraction, we keep the relevant information and hide the irrelevant ones. Now let's see this with one example. Say Aryan is a class 6 student. Aryan wants to plant a large number of trees to make his large colony green again after a significant amount of trees cutting was done to widen the road. He wants to plant 2000 trees, for which he needs a large number of seedlings. So to plant 2000 trees, he needs a large number of seedlings. His budget is limited and he cannot afford to buy so many seedlings. So after consulting with some conservation experts and doing research online, he did a lot of research online and consulted people. He concluded that seedlings can be grown at home at lesser cost. So he decided to grow the seedling at home. He first breaks this massive task into smaller ones, studies each subtask individually and works a stepwise solution for each task. So what he did, he divided the task into smaller steps and he performed each task individually. As a result, Aryan succeeded in getting 2000 new trees planted and his colony is now green again. So Aryan's task became easier by dividing it into smaller parts. Now how did he accomplish his task? He did it by using a technique called computational thinking. Now let us solve the above discussed problem using the elements of computational thinking. So the first element is analyzing. So Aryan analyzed the problem well in advance when lot many trees are being cut. He senses that the environment is getting polluted, so he needs to plant more seedlings with the help of more persons around his neighborhood to make the green environment. Here the problem is the environment getting polluted and the goal is to purify the environment. Now the second component is decomposition. So decomposition makes the task more manageable. Aryan breaks down the task of planting the last number of seedlings into the following steps to make the job easy and more organized. He finds the donors for contributing. Then he collects the seedlings and the seeds from various sources like nursery and he brings bags or containers, organizes the soil. Then he does bagging of seedlings. Then he nurtures the seedling until they are ready for the plantation with adequate water. He also convinced colony people to plant the seedlings around their homes and nurture them. Now let's relate Aryan's task with the third element, that is pattern recognition. Now what are patterns? Imagine that you want to make a drawing of different kinds of birds. Since all the birds share some common features like they have small eyes, beak, wings, so we can quickly draw a bird by including a standard feature. In computational thinking, these standard characteristics constitute patterns. So to the early example of making the seedling, Aryan searches on the internet and talks to experts who have already made seedlings in large quantity. He recognizes similarities between his goal and an existing procedure that experts have followed. So patterns exist among different problems and within the individual issues. We need to look for both. Patterns make our task more manageable and easy. Now the fourth element is abstraction. Aryan came across unnecessary complexities by searching on the internet and talking to experts. So Aryan gets various inputs and then he finds the solution that seedlings can be planted at home at a lesser cost. So his target is achieved. So this is abstraction, getting the necessary information. The fifth element is algorithm. An algorithm employs logical thinking to develop a step-by-step strategy to solve a problem. Now, how to write an algorithm? There are no well-defined standards for writing algorithms. It is problem and resource dependent. All programming languages share basic code constructs like loop, etc. for writing algorithms. Algorithm writing is a process and is executed after the problem domain is well defined. Now let's relate algorithm with Aryan's task. So he would carry out his task using some steps. Like step 1 would be collecting the seeds and saplings. He might collect seeds, he might collect the saplings which have grown under the trees naturally. He will make sure that he collects them with their roots intact. Second step would be making the sapling containers. Third step would be making the mix needed for nursery bags. He may need a soil mix like compost he may need container and mixing it to aerate it regularly. He may need some coconut husk, etc. Then fourth step would be bagging of seeds or saplings. For the saplings, the bags are partially filled with the mixture. Saplings are inserted in the bags, then the bags are filled till the roots are covered with a mixture. First the seeds will be inserted 1 inch deep from the surface of the bag and then it will be covered with soil so that the sapling can grow properly and the proper intact compost is also added in the required soil. Next step followed by Aryan would be nurturing of sapling, that is to provide right rain, water, sunlight to the sapling. Final step would be planting the sapling. Now let's understand an algorithm created for any computer program. Say the problem is to design an algorithm to add two numbers and display the result. So the first step will always be start and the last step will always be stop. So here step 1 is start, step 2 is declaring three integers, that is a, b and c. Step 3 will be defining values of a and b. Step 4 would be adding values of a and b. Now step 5 is storing the answer of addition in C. So once C will store the sum of A and B, step 6 will be printing C, that is printing the answer. And the last step would be stop. So in algorithm we always start, then we take input, then we process and then we give output and the last step will be stop. So this is how we write an algorithm for any computer program. Now once our algorithm is ready, we can represent it in a flowchart form, that is a diagrammatic representation of an algorithm. So what is flowchart? Flowchart is a type of diagram that represents an algorithm and its workflow. So the diagrammatic representation illustrates a solution to a given problem. Now considering Aryan's problem, the flowchart would be something like this. First we will start, then collect seeds and saplings, then prepare bags or containers. Then we will check, is it seed or sapling? If it is a seed, then insert the seed an inch below the soil surface and nurture the plant. Otherwise, if it is sapling, in that case we will insert the sapling in such a way that the roots lie below the soil and then we will nurture the plant and finally stop. Now these are some basic symbols used while drawing a flow chart. So remember, for start and end we use a rounded rectangle or oval. Start is required in all the flow charts and end is also required in all the flow charts. So we always start and end a flow chart with this rounded rectangle or oval shape. The process or actual calculation is represented by using a rectangular shape. It includes examples like adding, turning the motor on, turning the light off, rotating the part. So whatever task we do, we write in the rectangle. Then all the input and output is written in a shape that is parallelogram. Example, type the weight, check the balance, time the operation, give any input and give the output always in a parallelogram. So parallelogram is for input and output purpose. Then we use a diamond or a rhombus shape. This diamond or a rhombus shape is used in case of outcome which is either yes or no. When we have to check a condition that gives any one out of two options. Like in Aryan's case, we had seed or sapling as option. If seed is there, then do this. If sapling is there, then do this. In such situation, we use decision making, that is the rhombus. So the rhombus is used in case we have to apply any condition and we have to make a decision out of any two given options and make a choice for the output related to the problem. Next symbol used in a flow chart is the arrow. Arrows indicate the flow of the chart. Arrows are drawn from the output of one block to the input of another. Only one arrow is used to indicate the flow. So when we are drawing arrow from top to bottom, it indicates the flow from top to bottom. Let's now see where we can use computational thinking. So first is applying reasoning to make decisions. So decision making is one feature of computational thinking in which we have to make decisions, that is make a choice out of multiple options. So everyone makes decisions in daily life. Some of our problems are so general that we hardly take any time to decide on them. Sometimes when a problem is complex, it needs our wisdom and experience to take decisions. So difficult situations require more reasoning and skills to solve the problems. So let us understand this with a simple mathematical equation. So here our problem is to calculate the sum of first 10 odd numbers. So the first 10 odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. So when we add them, we will get the answer as 100. Now when we look at the first 10 odd numbers carefully, we observe that the first number and the last number when added, they give 20. And the second and the last second number when added, they also give the answer as 20. Similarly, we go on adding and we see that 1 plus 19 is 20, 3 plus 17 is 20, 5 plus 15 is 20, 7 plus 13 is 20 and 9 plus 11 is also 20. So by observing the above facts, we can conclude that in this problem there are 5 pairs. When these are added individually, answer comes out to be 20 as shown above. Therefore, sum of odd numbers can be written as 5 into 20, that is 100. Hence, by following the above method, we can calculate the sum of first 20 odd numbers easily. So instead of adding them multiple times, we just multiply them by 5. So this is how we make decisions in solving problems in computational thinking. Using computational thinking for programming. When you are developing an IT application, thinking enables you to work out exactly what to tell the computer to do and then convert the solution into a programming language. Importance of computational thinking. Computational thinking technique gives us the courage to solve problems and design systems that none of us would be capable of tackling alone. Moreover, the practice of computational thinking fosters key skills in children like you. Perseverance. Children learned not to give up and learned not to be intimidated by the complexity of a problem. Like in the previous example, Aryan was able to accomplish a large and a new task by following the principles of computational thinking. Debugging. Debugging is the process of trying various possible solutions in finding the most appropriate one. Children learn to find and fix errors. Example, Aryan broke down the project into a smaller task and assigned the duties to the volunteers. If there is an error in the procedure, it will be easy to identify where the error has occurred and rectified. Creating. Children learn to think creatively and innovate novel solutions. They also learn to develop models for multiple users. For example, when Aryan realizes that planting the seedlings would be too expensive, he found a way to make seedlings at home. Experimenting. Children gain the courage to experiment and lose the fear of failure. So, all these are benefits of computational thinking on a child's mind.